This is Reality Dispatch, written by Jim Mins.
Roger Dayton, photojournalist of Live magazine, had just received a cash injection of $20,000 in his bank account. The grant was a prize awarded to him thanks to his work on the Forbin files, the exposé documenting the corrupt conduct of the Secretary of State, Robin Forbin. Dayton's work had been compared to the early images used during the Watergate scandal that documented the downfall of President Richard Nixon. He was chuffed at the monetary gain, ambivalent about his work. The money was conditional. He was to use the bulk of it to prepare a story of his own volition. He was to document a matter for Live magazine that aroused his interest. The problem was, he was a man without purpose, a nihilist. He required direction. His skill set involved pointing the lens where it needed to go, and faith and good fortune did the rest. Many times he was told that his work was outstanding. An equal number of times he was told that his efforts were atrocious. He could not tell the difference between either. As a nihilist without direction, he didn't have any good ideas, so he delegated his decision-making to artificial intelligence. "Give me an idea for a photo documentary," he typed into ChatGPT. That's how he found himself sitting beneath a twisted olive tree in the Garden of Gethsemane. He sat staring off into the old city with his elbows on his knees as his butt rested in the dirt. The Pentax camera dangled around his thighs. The silence was welcome. He listened to the city sounds that echoed off the distance. He was awed by the history that surrounded him. He didn't feel much like capturing any of it. He wanted to touch it, and to snap away at the moment would be a futile exercise. It was unexpectedly meditative to just sit there and feel the breeze on his back, under the midday sun that was hidden under a deep cloud of a storm that refused to break. A rustle of footsteps meters away broke him from the trance. "Oh, sorry, we didn't know anyone was back here," a young woman said, who was flanked by a man of equal youth. Roger stood as they approached. They were hesitant to stay. It was obvious they were looking for a private escape. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you," was all Roger could think to say, dusting the dirt from his backside. "It's a beautiful spot, isn't it?" the young man said. "It is," replied Roger. "You can have my spot. I was just leaving," he said, holding his camera by the lens. "All I ask is that you let me take your picture and ask you a few questions." The couple looked at each other, still holding their smiles. The man turned back to Roger. "Are you a cop or something?" he asked in jest. "Not quite. I write for Live magazine." The couple looked bewildered. "It's a lifestyle magazine that has been around since the 50s, kind of like Time magazine." "Have you ever heard of Time?" Roger asked. "Oh yeah, I've heard of Time," the girl replied. Roger had left his shoulder bag lying in the dirt where he had been sitting. He bent down to retrieve it and removed a copy of the latest issue of Live to show the couple. The girl received it and looked it over. "And you took this image?" she asked, observing the configuration across the cover of a doctor, standing amongst a group of makeshift hospital tents. "The latest issue." "I did. My name is Roger Dayton," he said. She began to flick through the magazine. "And you want to take our picture?" the man asked. "Well, I'm here on assignment, but I'm not covering the war. My mission was given to me by..." He stopped short of mentioning the referral that had been given to him by artificial intelligence. "One of my editors," he said, clearing his throat. "They wish for me to get stories and images in places where wars are occurring, but the local areas, such as places of great historical significance, remain unaffected." "I don't see a problem with that," the man replied. "Honey?" The girl closed the copy of Live magazine and held it back for Roger. "I'm okay with that," she agreed. "You can keep that," Roger said, as he removed his Pentax and aimed the lens at the couple. He began snapping away as he spoke to them. "What are your names?" The couple began smiling down the barrel of the camera that was broken with unease about their images snapped for eternity in the memory card of this stranger's camera. "I'm Juan, and this is my fiancée, Maria." "Juan and Maria, very nice to meet the both of you. Where are you from?" "Spain," they both replied through gritted teeth and a fixed smile. "It's okay, you can both relax," Roger said. I prefer it if you don't smile. It looks more natural. Will this appear in the magazine? Maria asked. Roger kept snapping away. Maybe. So let me ask you, Juan and Maria, you're both in the Garden of Gethsemane. Juan is holding a bottle of wine, and you are both looking for a quiet place away from the hustle and bustle of Jerusalem. What are your plans? Roger asked. The look on Juan's face grew skeptical. Maria held her smile. What are you asking me? I'm just asking a simple question about life in Jerusalem on this particular day in history. Here we are, here you are, and here I am. We stand beneath the branches of these 2,000-year-old trees. Some of them were planted around the time another famous occupant was exploring these grounds. What were you two planning on doing here amongst the trees? Roger asked again. I don't want to answer your questions anymore, Juan said with aggression. Roger could sense he was holding back from what he really wanted to do, but was marred by Maria's presence. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I offended you? Roger asked. You have, Juan said, grabbing Maria by the wrist. Come on, Maria, vamos. I'm terribly sorry, Roger continued as his subjects walked away. This is a place known for betrayal. It wasn't my intention to break your trust by prying into your personal life like that. Roger began to yell as the couple proceeded out of earshot. Perhaps you cannot blame me for inquiring, though. I mean, it is a little suspicious, don't you think? You cannot fault me for betraying you in the Garden of Gethsemane. Of all places. Roger was tapped on the shoulder by a park ranger who was patrolling the olive grounds. Please, sir, this is a place of peace and prayer, and you are disturbing the other visitors. You must be mindful of their needs if you wish to continue to be a guest here in the garden, he instructed. Roger tipped his head in compliance. The ranger left him to his promised peace. Roger was alone once more and felt the overpowered need to sleep, suddenly wanting to lay his head down amongst the shade that had become needed due to the emergence of the midday sun from the cloud cover. Do not sleep, he told himself. Remain awake. He began to photograph the branches of the olive trees.
For more stories, head to jimmins.substack.com.